Aquarius, welcome to your in-depth open reading. So, the Sunday Shuffle has largely been open reads, which is to say non-theme specific, and bare minimum placements, right? Just an idea to get a direction of flow, but for the most part they've been open reads, and I've been enjoying those quite a bit. And there's been several times where I've just been stumped in terms of time. The collectors will show me something very interesting, and I'll be like, I would love to push this, clarify it further, do more oracles, that kind of thing, and I just can't. The Sunday Shuffle messages have to be shorter, but I thought, let's do an open read at the big table, push it in terms of in-depth, clarify it as much as we want, put down as many oracles as we want, see what happens, And so far I've been seeing interesting things for folks, which was the whole idea, right? So let me know if you like this, and I will consider doing an open read in-depth style as part of a regular rotation, such as the Celtic Cross, the general overviews, that kind of thing. So let me know. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. Regardless of what I see, however, take what resonates, leave what does not. It's a general collective reading, not a one-to-one private, which is to say it may or may not resonate. Perfectly normal. If it doesn't resonate at all, that is. Take care of the placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere, yeah? Show me that Aquarian collective. Show me that Aquarian collective. Show me that Aquarian collective. The only downside I've noticed to open reads without themes is that there really isn't a strong gauge of future orientation or past. It tends to be heavily concentrated on the present. Now, if I see things like time passing, then I'll have an idea of things being further out on the timeline. But for the most part, it's been heavily concentrated in present. And it's not a bad idea to focus on present energy, We should all stop and do that a little bit more, I think. Another advantage. What's going on, please, for that Aquarian collective? Show me Aquarius. Show me Aquarius. Show me Aquarius, please. What's going on for Aquarius? The only placement I have is to get an idea of your overall flow, which is the King of Pentacles. And from here, it is what it is. Page of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Six of Cups. Well, that's lovely. Oh, that's so lovely. Let's keep it. Let's have it stay that way. That's love. Oh, Nine of Swords. There's the stress. Okay, the Six of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Okay, man, do you see that? Do you see the flip there? Whoa, water. Heart space. This feels good. Connectivity to Sword. Move on. It's looking like it is best done so. King of Pentacles is in your overall. That's the only placement I have. This is kind of your flow for the general day-to-day, what's currently with you, okay? And King of Pentacles, as we know, it denotes a level of resourcefulness, practicality, reliability, homestead energy. I take care of me and mine, okay? I understand my priorities. I am stable, I'm level-headed, I make good choices in terms of home and hearth, that kind of thing. Let's see that King of Pentacles, please. Show me that King of Pentacles. Show me that King of Pentacles, please, for Aquarius. Let's see that King of Pentacles, please, for Aquarius. Show me that King of Pentacles. Show me that King of Pentacles, please. Strength, being strong, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, beautiful. I like this. It's anticipatory, it's solid, it's hopeful, it's strong, it's vindicated. I love this. These are all great flow and very strong characteristics for the Aquarius I'm looking at today. So King of Pentacles, as we discussed. Strength, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance. Whatever else I see here today, just know that you're going to be okay. Okay, you have something beautiful within you, around you, that's both realistic in the 3D, and then also with you at the spiritual level. You're going to be okay. Whatever this is, it's a blip. And mind you, it's a painful blip, but nonetheless it's a blip. Whether it comes back around in time, I don't know. You're going to be okay regardless. And this is what you take stock in, my friends. You're showing me strength of will, character. I can stand up for myself. I know what my quality and values and strengths are in this life. Thank you. And it's not done so with arrogance. Pride, maybe. As long as it's healthy. But arrogance, no. It's a very strong will of understanding thyself. This above all. To thine own self be true. Know thyself. It's said in many different ways, in many different forms, and in many different languages. So the Aquarius I'm looking at says, I know these things. And I know that I can pay credence to time and patience and show myself patience and compassion and forgiveness. I can do those things. I can reconcile difficult truths within me, practically and spiritually. Strength of will about you, Ace of Pentacles. There's hope here for new beginnings. There are things in play that are already speaking to you as part of your world, okay? They're already in a particular flow. And new things will be afforded to you in time as well. You take comfort in knowing this, but you also already have things going on. It's like you're saying, I lack or want for nothing. And I agree, that's the benefit. The ultimate benefit is to know that you lack and want for nothing because you know who you are and you're grateful for what you have, and that knowing that you can achieve more. And that's amazing. A lot of people spend half their lives searching for half of that. They don't understand that in order to gain more for yourself, you have to very much appreciate where you are. And not just your material world, but who you are as a person. Understand your value. Understand your worth, and things will come to you in time. So that's a lovely disposition. I love that. And it's needed here. There's an acceptance, though, as much as this stresses you out, that it must be. Again, that I'm content with where I am in this life, and I understand some things must pass, no matter how I feel about it, is part of the strength category, 100%. And we do need it because Page of Cups, Three of Cups, Six of Cups, simply put, you were very comfortable at some point, no longer the case, because I have seen that the movement forward. If it hasn't happened already, it will. But we used to open our heart towards somebody, and it was a precious somebody. Three of Cups, Six of Cups, we danced the dance with somebody, you know? We celebrated with somebody. This is literally connecting with the sharing of memories and feelings. And it felt good. Kept our heart open towards it. And then we have Sword, 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 which we know is your element, that you can handle well. But it's not easy nonetheless. Nine of Swords, this is stressful. There is a peaceful resignation in here that you must flow in a different direction. Ten of Swords is the recognition and or acceptance of the ending of this thing. 9 and 10. Stressful and painful. Moving away from it. Okay. Obviously something happened here. Let's take a look at that something, or is about to, or perhaps we're on the verge of it, of walking away. I just know that it's with you, and where you are in this, I do not know. That's for you to know. All right. Let's see that Page of Cups. Show me that Page of Cups. Show me that Page of Cups. Just to point out, you're not perfect. There's no such thing. But you are someone who is either very comfortable with where you are and content and happy with where you are, grateful for it, or you're not. And I'm not saying you're probably over the top successful or wealthy. What I'm saying is it's a richness of character, the kind of things you can't put a price on. So you can be wealthy or poor, but if you have no character, no strength of will, money doesn't really matter, does it? If you have no sense of self-respect or self-worth or what your value is, it doesn't matter how much you actually materially own. Does it? It's one of the greatest fallacies of all time. If I had money, I'd be a person of substance and importance and power. On the forefront, yeah, on the forefront, where everybody can see it, like window shopping. Ooh, look at old Aquarius, that old so-and-so. Aren't they doing mighty fine? And they didn't see anything behind it, right? It could be empty back there for all you know. What's going on? I like this a lot, is my point. Let's see that Page of Cups. No, you're not perfect. But there are things you understand that must be true. All right. Let's take a look at that Page of Cups, please. Show me that Page of Cups. The Hierophant. Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups, you know. This is obviously a pain in the past, and for some reason, two people here invested in something in the past, or they kept it going. And it was, you know, spiritual significance. It's marked with a spiritual significance for the both of you, because I see two pages here, low-key investing in something that perhaps denotes past Five of Cups. And since that's the entry point, I can't help but think, you know, perhaps you two connected after so long, or reconnected. Okay. It's kind of long ago and far away. Those Five of Cups are long ago. Okay. But there's a spiritual significance here for both parties, I believe, to trying to invest in this. But we were, let's make it clear, investing in the past. So whatever it is that you two, because there's two people here. There's two people here. You both contributed low levels of investment through past orientation. So this is someone you used to know. And at some point, you two started exchanging pages. And it starts out small. These things always do. Little did either one of you know the spiritual marker attached to it. It was something that was supposed to happen. Okay? Your two higher selves were maybe trying to re-engage, and that's how it started. Understanding that perhaps you both were at peace, time had passed, and all was well. I'm good, you're good. It's good to see you, it's good to catch up. And sometimes these things happen. It's actually incredibly common. You can move halfway across the world and still have something like this. You know, especially given the power of online. These things are very possible now. But yeah, I see it as a peaceful exchange and how it started out. Okay? And let's reconnect a little bit. Whether or not it was romantic or just celebratory or let's catch up, you get the idea. The idea is we both have a common point of origin and we're both choosing to invest in this. But it felt good to do this, right? It felt good to catch up. All right? Yeah? Got a lot of power energy here today. It may or may not mean anything to you. It's not about the card placement. It's about the energy behind it. But just for technicality, yes, we have Taurus here twice, Leo and Sag. Okay? 3 cups. Show me that 3 cups, please. Show me that 3 cups. 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 Show me that 3 cups, please. Eight of Wands. Oh, 7 of Cups. Oh, goodness me, they're just all falling out. 6 of Cups and then the 4 of Swords as well. You know, I see what happened here. I do. You two literally, like I just said, started to catch up, and it felt good. It felt really good. Like I said, I got 2 people of the past who have a common origin or a common denominator. In other words, this is someone you used to know. We caught up. The circumstances, they seem pretty simple, straightforward. My page is interacting with your page. I don't really know. But I see how it kind of took off from there. When we started connecting, I should say reconnecting, it happened fast and it was easy and it was simple. The 6 of Cups is here twice. So I promise you, however this shakes out in the future, honey, it was supposed to happen. Okay? It could be to resolve old wounds. It could be that you both needed something in that time and in that place where you had an exchange and it felt right. So I don't disagree with it. When you two started to connect and reconnect, the communication was on point. We had an exploration, no matter how briefly, of each other's feelings. The 6 of Cups was being here. So this is where the communication was happening. That 7 of Cups is actually in a good position. We were trying to understand each other's feelings and we're catching up and, you know, oh, this is interesting going on with you. This is what's going on with me. Okay, this, that, and the other. And it was restorative. That's how I know it was healthy. It started out restorative. It started out as healthy, this reconnection. It felt good. You both gave each other something that suggested healing. So in your own individual lives, when you two were exchanging, that exchange served a purpose. You both, in reconnecting with this bond, 6 of Cups is here twice, in reconnecting with it and engaging in it, it was right, it was correct. You both needed something. And it was in each other. And that's why you two, at some point, started talking again. It was the right time. It was the right place. Okay? So rest assured in that. You both got something from this exchange that helped each other heal in some way. You both benefited in some way. And perhaps you two crossed paths again because you were supposed to. The timing was right. You both needed something. That's what a 6 of Cups does. I recognize this in you. You recognize it in me. We may not be together forever, or perhaps we're family, or perhaps we're just friends. But there's an exchange I have with you, and just with you. See what I'm saying? That makes me see things a different way, that impacts me in a different way, that makes me learn things in a different way, that makes me feel things in a different way. And that is the difference between a soul bond and a friend. That is the difference between a soul bond and a family member. It's true. It's unique. You know what to expect from somebody like, say, a sibling or mom and dad, right? We know what to expect, but sometimes it takes a connection that's a little bit more unique for us to open up more. And they may not be with us forever. And you don't really know what form they're going to take. It could just be that really good friend. Or they could be that cousin that for some reason you just click with them better than other parts of your family. Does that make sense? Sometimes it's a lover. Sometimes it's someone you date. There's no guarantee we get to keep them. I just know that when you re-engage with this, it both served a purpose to each other in the form of healing. You exchanged ideas. You exchange thoughts, you exchange feelings, in what looked like probably on the surface to the both of you that you're just catching up. I know that's how it looks, right? But no, there was more to it than that. All right, my point is, honey, because I see what's coming of it. Okay. But the Aquarius, I know how well equipped you are and how strong you are. In fact, I'm not even... It's not meant to be rude. It's not. It's just sometimes as I see it, and sometimes I feel it, and I feel like you're not Aquarius dominant. Okay? Sun. Your sword energy is here, don't get me wrong. It just... I don't know that you're Aquarius Sun. That's all. Let's see that Six of Cups. Let's see that Six of Cups. Let's see that Six of Cups. Now here twice. Very beautiful connection. But it became difficult. It started to transform into something else over time. It became more difficult. And then we started to develop secret feelings. I know, it's right here. It's pretty straightforward. If it must be called something, if I were to give this a label, I'd call it tarot light. Because I've seen things like this before, and I promise you, I've seen it many, many different ways. This is tarot light. It's pretty straightforward. And this is what happens, you know. That's the only downside to these kind of more unique connections, is that we're more likely to develop emotional attachments to them in different ways. Because they're impactful, because they're helpful, because they make us learn and see things. And so we can confuse that or conflate it with love. And that's often what happens. And I'm not saying that the love isn't real. Of course it is. Six of Cups by definition means it has love both ways. But sometimes it gets taken to a romantic place. And I know why. The energy is exciting. It feels so good to be understood, right? It feels really good to be understood. You understand me, and I don't feel like I have to explain myself anyway. You give me these great ideas. You make me excited. Everything was kind of ho-hum until I saw you again or met you. And I'm lit up. So yeah, it's easy to conflate that with romantic feeling and pride and intrigue and passion. And at some point it was very, very fluid how these things are, to very, very difficult. Because we had to suppress, somebody here had to suppress, my lisp is kicking in today, suppress their natural emotions under the moon. That is more on the side, again, of romantic and passionate. And a little bit of ego boost. It feels good. It feels good to be connected to this. It feels good to be seen by this person. Oh, nope. And so it started to go from a light, everything's on the surface, we can both see it, recognize it, feel it, to we should probably start putting this connection under the moon. And it happened both ways. It happened both ways for you and for them. So you both started to develop those special feelings. Because again, it's attractive, honey. It's exquisitely attractive. It's intoxicating. It's intoxicating to be understood by somebody with using bare minimal words. Isn't that an amazing feeling? Isn't that wonderful? That's that soul exchange. It's lovely. It's free. Right? You have an idea of what they're saying, but not everything and all that. And it goes from a place of understanding, right? Everything's on the surface, to it's starting to go into a secret place now. Because I'm developing special feelings for this. And at some point, your exchange was probably complete, okay? And that you both did your job. You both healed each other in some way. You both inspired each other in some way. And once we started to recognize that, okay, now it's starting to go into a deep place, you and I are both feeling like we have to conceal things, or feelings, I think we might have served our purpose. Now, human beings don't know that. We're like, how can we take it further, maybe? Or is this going somewhere? Or is this going further? Instead of like, this is where it's meant. We don't really know what the cutoff point is. And we typically have to learn that, you know. We usually have to learn that the hard way. I mean, again, the universe gives us these fantastic tools, but we as human beings are quite blunt. And we have to be refined and sharpened and honed. And that means having experiences that are also equal to the positivity. So that means it starts to go negative. And at some point we fail to understand that perhaps the exchange was done. Or it wasn't supposed to go into that romantic space, but it kind of did. Low-key, under the moon, and it got difficult. The exchange went from free to hard. I'm not able to have a free flow of exchange with you like we were doing. Now I'm starting to have to hide things. I'm having to hide my feelings. I'm having to hide the fact that it's getting harder to connect with you and not feel good about it. That's what that is. I understand. I do. But I promise you it was for a reason. It was for a reason. You have my word. I see it right here. You two are supposed to connect, I should say reconnect, at the right time and at the right place because you both needed something. You both needed something. The soul exchange is here. It's that is neat about this one. The soul exchange is right here, and how it is you two benefited each other when you reconnected. It's right there. But at some point, that purpose served its course or ran its course. I don't think they were supposed to go, right? If we ever have to suppress our feelings and it starts to go under the moon, it's usually an indication that while it is interesting and intriguing and it starts to go into a different place, the point is it went from being free and recognizable as open and free because there was nothing wrong in it to this is starting to feel weird and different. You know? It just feels like it wasn't supposed to head in that direction, right? And like I said, sometimes we get to keep our Six of Cups, and sometimes they have a limited time purpose only. We'll see. Let's see that Nine of Swords. Let's see that Nine of Swords. Let's see that Nine of Swords. So just to make this clear, that sense of low-key attraction and I'm having to not discuss it or I feel like I can't discuss it felt on both sides. You both felt it positively, therefore you both kind of felt it negatively in that way. And let's see, the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Cups. There we started to feel the contradiction of energy. Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Nine of Cups. Something started pulling you away. You know, there was the stress of it. There's the stress of offer and making it real and taking action towards what feels right to me. And can I do that? I want to make good on an offer. I want to give something of myself to this. It would make me feel good. So you were trying to honor your feelings as best you could, but it caused you anxiety to do this. So parts of you were in line in terms of proposed action. You would like to give something official of yourself to this. Ace of Pentacles to make it legit and to act towards your best interest with the Knight of Swords. It is coming across as platonic. And by that I mean you wanted to serve this connection some form of appropriate action and or justice because it was coming from a good place in you. Okay, but I don't see it as being romantic. I see it as being platonic or trying to do the right thing. And you were because again, it came from a good place in you because you love yourself and you love this connection. You tried to honor both of those parts, yourself as well as the connection. So you tried to offer it something legitimate, and you took action towards it because you meant it. Okay, but it is coming across as platonic. The only Nine of Cups I'm seeing here is yours. So again, everything begins with the self. Because you loved yourself and you know it, and because you love this connection, you know it. You tried to give it some of the best parts of you. I can legitimately offer you this, but nothing else. And it stressed you to do it, but you're like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. So for some reason, romantic exploration is off the table with this, and I picked up on that right away. It looked like a good, healthy, we're both benefiting from this exchange, even though we don't quite understand it, but we are. Like I said, from the very beginning, there was a spiritual essence of higher self attached to the both of you as you both re-engaged in this. And I don't feel like it was give it the old college try, like we broke up 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like that. And then I randomly contacted you on Facebook to see if you wanted to try it again. It wasn't, I don't know that it was like that. It doesn't quite feel like that. You two have a common denominator of things not having worked out in the past, but for some reason you two did reconnect in the real world. And it did have a job, it did have a function. But for some reason there's a mutual agreement here that once the feelings started to go in a different way, you both had to go subversive with it. So that tells me the romantic relationship piece is off the table. Okay? It could be that when you two caught up, one or both of you was in something, or neither one of you was in that space, or it wasn't supposed to go into that space. I don't know. So when I say you're offering a legitimate form of platonic gesturing in terms of I can give you this, this is what I can do, this is my best offer, it caused you stress to do it, but it came from a good and real place. But the romantic piece isn't on the table. It's just not. It's just not, honey. Once you both have to take it to the moon, you know something that both of you are kind of saying, we shouldn't be doing this, but we both kind of are. You see what I'm saying? Not an accusation. I read the cards. Okay? It is what it is. If you're offended by any of this, I'm sorry. But real tarot is real life. None of this really shocks me. Okay? But no, as far as I can tell, it was platonic. That was the intention of your offer. The genuineness of real work, and I'm showing up for this, and if you ever need me, I'll be there. That kind of energy. You know? And it was real. It was real. Let's see that Six of Swords. Let's see that Six of Swords. Let's see that Six of Swords. But, well, let's see it. That would also explain then why Temperance is over Ace of Pentacles. Your best is still very good. I just don't know that it was accepted. And that's where they're saying you have a lot to offer and you know this. Just because it may not have been accepted by them doesn't mean that it was any less real or good. No, it was really authentic and it was beautiful what you had to offer. Okay? And you know this. And your best can be offered and accepted somewhere else in your life. You know this already. Let's see that Six of Swords. King of Cups. The Five of Cups. Four of Swords. Yes, I agree. So how we opened up here is the acknowledgement of you and I. We've been through this before, but it's old. Okay. Here we have the Six of Swords. We understand there's just too much pain in the heart to carry this forward for one reason or the other. Despite your best offer and intention, we are not able to keep it to a platonic space, or somebody's heart space is not meeting the other person's at the same level. You know, it's by that I mean the intention's not matching. Okay. Regardless, I see you kind of swallowing this with a certain level of dignity and saying, I have to move on from it. I've healed on the subject. Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. I can't say I didn't give it my best. My best was coming from a good place in me, but me trying to offer anything to this, no matter how platonic, is still hurtful. It's hurtful because I've rested on this subject. They can't meet me in the same place. Or they don't know how. Some people cannot separate their love feeling or their sexual feelings from real authentic work and action. It's kind of like I have to have a reason to do it, right? So I either got to be in love or attracted to that person. And that's unfortunate. It's limited thinking. It's archaic thinking. It's one of the reasons why I insist on looking at motivation, because that often tells me what is behind someone's action, because we as human beings default to that. I'm doing this for a reason, here's why. And your best action was straightforward to the point, and I just don't think it could be returned to you. It couldn't be returned to you. I don't know if somebody was able to come to terms with their feelings and do something because they felt they really wanted to, as opposed to needing an emotional or sexual motivation behind it. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell because you both took that energy to the moon place. It's almost like you both did it at the same place at the same time, and at the exchange rate, how fluid it was. I'm tempted to believe that 100%. I absolutely could see that happening for both people at the same time, 100%. Yeah, there's the resting and healing on this subject. I have to move away from this, and my heart is hurt by it. It is what I tried to offer was real and genuine, authentic, and I tried to keep it as platonic as possible. So that tells me your offer was rejected, or they couldn't meet you at the same level. They just couldn't. And that doesn't make them a bad guy. It doesn't make you an asshole or a hero. It just, no, I'm sorry guys, not everybody's a villain and a hero. Sometimes it's just two people doing the best that they can. And someone can either meet you in that space or they can't. And if they can't, that doesn't mean they're a villain. That just means that's not where they are in this life. And that's not your job to try to get them to meet you there. The point is, back here, you were heroes. That hit me funny. Heroes by Bowie, of course. Classic. If you don't know it, honey, you should. You two are actually heroes back here. And it was probably at your peak reconnectivity. This is when you were peak heroes, but neither one of you knew it. That's the best kind of energy, and it's the best kind of exchange in the real world. when you two are connecting and you're not questioning why, because everything is real and authentic and you're going with the flow. And when we started to develop feelings that we had to put under the moon, that's when we stopped going with the flow and stopped listening to the connection and understanding that perhaps it served its purpose because you both seem to understand it can't go there. But this is when you two were heroes. You gave each other something you both needed. And you didn't even know it. They had parts of their lives they needed help with. You had parts of your life you needed help with. This is when you were heroes, when you were least aware of it. Not by what you were both doing with the moon. Not when you tried to, you know what, this is the best offer I can give you from the cleanest, healthiest, most sincere part of me. Please accept it. It caused you stress because you didn't know if they would accept it or if they could meet you there, and they couldn't. They couldn't. Like I said, motivation's a powerful thing, but it's unfortunate when somebody can't separate their motivation from their action. I'm doing this because I want to. Not because I hope to gain your love or your sex or whatever it is. I'm doing this because I want to. So I know that part was real of you, and that's why you opened up so beautifully. Because you're a fucking champ. You're a champ at knowing who you are and what you can offer. Because it was real. So honey, if you can do that and not have someone meet you in that same place, imagine what you can do elsewhere in your life. Okay? That's why I'm not worried about you. So when you concluded and rested on this subject, some of you might have some Scorpio in your chart. There's a heavy Scorpio here today as well. 5 of Cups, 5 of Cups. What are you going to do? Everybody has a designated slot of power cards within the minors as well. So Scorpios is 5, 6, 7. So when I see that much, plus the King of Cups, some of you might have some strong Scorpios, my point. And then the Sword energy is here, of course. But yeah, so when you concluded, this hurt. But I know I loved it. That's real, honest conclusion. You rested on it. You knew it was true. You knew it was your truth. And you might call it an unfortunate truth, but it was still a truth. And a big Aquarius and a big sign, whoever they are, accepts the truth. They don't deny it. The more you deny it, everything, healing and getting over it, takes twice, 3 times as long. I know some people who to this day are still denying their feelings and they're still paying for it. So when you gave yourself that permission, okay, I love this. It hurts. I can't have it. I gave it my best shot. I gotta go. I believe you. This 10 of Swords, I don't know why I'm saying the same thing twice, but you did move on it, and it's looking like it came, move on from it. It looks like that decision came from you. And it was a healthy decision. I agree with it. I think it was correct. All you can do is represent yourself to the best of your abilities. And you did what I advise people to do 1,000 times. All you can do is represent yourself. You can't guarantee the other side. You knew that. You knew that when you made the offer. That's why you were worried. You understood there was a good chance they couldn't step up and take it. And they couldn't. That's your conclusion. But you did the right thing by honoring you, and that's why your value to this day is through the roof. Because you're an Aquarius who knows how to honor themselves. And you know you can't make people take it, react, or give it to you an equal. But you did what was right for you. And that's what gave you the peace of mind to move forward to this day. When you know you've done everything, and it came from a good, clean place in you, no bad motivation, no moon shit. Self-expression is interesting. One of them being people's choice of vehicles. I want my vehicle to be super loud. I need eyes on me when I'm driving. It is a form of self-expression, but not necessarily a good one. Let's see that 10 of Swords. Living in Texas, I'm used to hearing these massive diesel trucks. Commercial, right? Commercial or regular buyer. And you think you must... And it's pristine, mind you. Someone who actually uses their truck for work, it's filthy. It's dented, it's messed up. the paint is scratched. Somebody who has a truck for show, it's pristine. No scratches, no farming in there, no construction work in there, no moving in that thing. No, it's for show. And that's when you're like, you know, you paid how much for 10 miles to the gallon? Interesting choice. And you don't need it for work. Because they're loud too. You just don't hear it as much as, say, a motorcycle, but they're loud too. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. Ten of Swords. It's one of those grievances, honey, when you live in the South, the bigger those vehicles get. Taking up double parking spots, dominating the road, intimidation. It's just, it's very normal down here. So if you're not used to that, you're thinking about traveling down south, the traffic experience driving is very different. I've driven in New England and East Coast and West Coast, and let me tell you, people are so nice compared to... and I know what you're thinking. Oh, you haven't driven in such and such. Oh, honey, I've driven in New England too. Let me tell you, everybody over there plays nice in comparison. At least they use the horns up there. They don't do that down here. That's considered weakness if you use your horn. All right. I'm serious. It's hardcore. Okay. I'm sorry to see that. It's not you. It's them. Okay. All playing aside, laughing aside, I have no idea why I brought that up. I hope you enjoyed it. Hi, my name's Christina. If you're new to the channel, sometimes I deviate and tell random stories. And I have come to learn that those random stories actually, for some reason or another, help people. I have no idea why. I don't know. So I just kind of be me, and that's all we can do. I offer you my authentic self. It may not be for you, in which case, you know, there's plenty of tarot readers on YouTube. It's not a challenge. It's just the truth. And I'm comfortable with that truth. So, there you go. My regular Aquariuses, you know what's up. You put it in the comments, honey. I appreciate you. All right, the Ten of Swords. So I see you having moved on. It hurts, but it's peaceful. It's a decision you concluded. I see why. I see your reasoning. I feel it. Everything lines up. I don't disagree with you. Ten of Swords, there's the ending. I'm like, why am I saying that twice? Okay, it's not you. Three of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords. I'm not surprised you're both showing me Nine of Swords. Like, you've both shown me a lot of repetitive energy because you're connected. They're upset. It's stiff. It's cold. They're kind of saying, I don't understand why we can't be friends. They know. That's the biggest difference between you and they. What you were offering was platonic, but it came from a good place. They kind of wanted to continue on with this rough form of friendship where the things aren't really addressed and they don't understand why it just can't, quote unquote, work out. So that's the biggest difference by far. So while you two are very soul bonded and you had a really easy free flow of exchange, this is what distinguishes you two as people, because we're all individuals at the end of the day. I don't care how many soul bonds you have, you're still a unique individual at the end of the day. We are both individuals and we are also all connected to something greater. It is both. You can have two opposing truths exist at the same time. That's what yin and yang is, black and white, so on and so forth. So while you are showing me heavy bonding to this, that was the purpose of it. This is where it distinguishes you. This is someone who's done their homework and someone who has yet to do their homework. Okay? You've done a lot of homework. This person doesn't really know how to offer the best of themselves to someone else without some sort of motivation behind it. So the rough translation of their energy is that I don't understand why we can't be friends, and that hurts me a lot, and it's not fair. Well, they weren't really offering the best of themselves. At some point you were honest with your offer and your feelings behind it, and they didn't. Like I said, if they could meet you in that same place, you wouldn't have any reason to leave. Because they couldn't meet you there. They couldn't step up to that. And again, that doesn't make them a villain. That just means that's where they are. They don't know how to separate offer of self from motivation behind it. Okay? It's completely different. It doesn't make them a bad guy. It just tells me what I saw from the beginning. You two had a limited time frame to be connected. You two entered each other's lives at a point you needed it. They needed something from you, you needed something from them, and it wouldn't have exchanged any other way unless you two were bonded like this. So you two were heroes once upon a time when you needed to be. What they got from it, I have no idea. They're just kind of sour and kind of mentally angry and cold and shut down. They just don't understand why you couldn't be friends. You can be friends so long as you're able to separate your personal sense of desire and love. Now, don't get me wrong, you can love the connection and you can love that person as an individual, but I mean, and you know what I mean, individual, I love you, in love with you, romantic energy. If you're not, and a lot of people aren't, so again, it's not a challenge. It's just facts. Most people, it's like, if I can't be in love with it, or I can't be attracted to it, then what's the point of giving anything real or authentic to it? So this person's not willing to pay that premium because they're not able to get much from it beyond whatever it is that they were putting under the moon with you. That's why. This is where you two are very different. Okay? The idea is I want to put in the least of myself so I can get the least back if you and I can't have something more emotional. You know. So that's where you call check-in. I don't need a friend that needs to check in on me if they can't get what they want from me, because that's not real friends. Real friends have a free and open exchange. And if it goes into something else that neither one of you can feed, okay, it takes two people to recognize it instead of forcing it to fit. And it's hard. It's a hard task, honey. It's a really hard task for people, like I said, to separate their motivation of I'm in love with you, so I need something from this that represents that, from this is the best I have to give you, minus my emotional connectivity or my sexual connectivity to you. Which I don't know that was there. I do see that the passion and the kind of ego and the charge started to go into the moon for the both of you as it became increasingly difficult to suppress those feelings. But yeah, I mean, there's this kind of a cold, rejected state, and I understand it. They don't, and that's unfortunate, but that's not your journey. They still contemplate it, and they're angry, and they don't understand why, quote unquote, they just couldn't be friends. And again, it would be that kind of friend where you check in on it, that way you don't have too much interaction, that way you can keep the feelings at bay, and that's just that's not going to work. You know, if you two could enter a union like that without problems, then I would have seen that. That tells me for neither one of you it's an option. We square on that? If either one of you was completely and fully available, I mean both of you, would it have headed in that direction? Most likely. I can tell right here. That's how easy it was. That's how good the flow was. Like I said, you two were heroes. And heroes for more than a day. You connected and kind of defied the emotional relationship to an extent. But the core of it, the beauty of it, the proper exchange of it, at what you two needed at the soul level, that's where you two were really heroes. Okay? You did your bit, they did their bit. But at the end of the day, they're their own individual. And how far they understand this connection, that's not for you. Okay? And how you affected their life, I don't know. Maybe you don't either. But you know how they affected yours. It came at a time when you both needed it. Okay? It's funny, it didn't feel that long at all. Witches in reverse, no magic here. There are no curses. Okay? There are no curses. There are no magic here. There's no manifestation here. This idea of the witch, you have to take that with some flexibility. There's no curse. There's no, it's like I was cursed with this. No. It was something that you both needed. It was an fair exchange. Nobody was cursed or, no magic was involved. I mean, the idea of spiritual arts were in the reverse here. No, actually everything was on point where it needed to be. If it was such a curse, you wouldn't have been the Aquarius that could leave this behind with such level of thought and feeling. Okay. No such thing. The old woman, a sadness, female. Some of you might identify as being an older woman. You might identify them as being an older woman, or there is an older woman here that I cannot see. In terms of somebody here being tied to someone else. For some of you, that might be it, but no. The gate in reverse. Somebody could not leave their garden gate. Okay? They couldn't, or they wouldn't. But there is no home outside of this home, and there's no opportunity outside this gate. Okay? It was there, otherwise it wouldn't have been open at all, but it was not taken. They did not step beyond their garden gate. Okay? Or something like that. The old woman suggests frailty, insecurity, feeling weak and feeble. Perhaps somebody here felt that they could not do this. They could not venture beyond their gate. I do not know. But we also understand that that opportunity is shut, but also There's no ill will. There's no cursing here. The curse with the witch in reverse. There's no curses here. I don't curse you. I don't curse thee to hell. All that crap. No. It's relinquishing of the energy. Okay? Very good. Yes, I do believe you two were heroes in your own way when you needed each other. Yes, making a choice, and it took strength. Yes, I understand. I saw it for you. You made a choice, okay? And you did it so with strength, and then you made a second choice also with strength. In other words, they were both correct. Like I said, can't put a price on that. You can have all the money in the world and have no sense of self-worth or self-value. You know what I mean? But yeah, you made choices, and you did so with strength to the best of your ability. This is the choice I made, and I'm proud of it. It may not be the best, but it's the best of me. Okay? All right. But yeah, I do want you to take comfort that when you two connected after this period, there was a reason why. There was a reason why, I promise. And the world is wide open. Okay? Yes. And you have your own particular talisman. Okay? Don't neglect that. The thing that gives you that touchstone energy, keeps you grounded. Okay? Your own particular talisman. I think everybody has their own particular talisman, you know? Something that speaks just to them. And you kind of get sometimes into that energy of, where did I put it? I can't go without it, or I can't do without it. Something like that, the talisman energy. Something like that. All right. Anything else in here, please? New moon in Cancer. You can relax now. Just ease it down. Just ease down. I think the energy for you might have started to ease down perhaps in the new moon in Cancer, which was over the summer. No, yes, it was. Even I still do that from time to time. Yeah, new moon is within the season. Full moon is the opposite season. So new moon, some of you, the energy started to come down last Cancer season. But for others of you, you can relax now. It's safe. It's safe to do so. Okay, and assess the situation. I think you did that many, many times, and you keep coming up as correct. I did the right thing. Yes, I agree. All right. But if it helps, and what I like about this a lot is that you two were heroes. You two were heroes. Just neither one of you knew it in that time and in that place. But you both got something from it. I don't know how long you two connected under those peaceful flow energies, but I know at some point it started to cross over into what I guess you both felt was inappropriate or something to be suppressed. But between that, or before that I should say, things felt right because they were. Okay. The letters A, N, D, which is funny because they spell it and. A-N-D. That's interesting. Frog with a coin in its mouth in terms of prosperity, you know. In terms of prosperity for you or them, perhaps things started to change financially when you two reconnected, and that's where you two came in to intersect each other's lives in terms of getting each other back on track, prosperity, career moves, getting ideas, generating ideas in that area. That could very well be. Perhaps you two reconnected over work. I do not know. The Pegasus, the masculine, now it doesn't mean you're a man, but the masculine sense of freedom, and I choose my own destiny, and I'm free to fly in that. That's the power of decision making, and real decision making when it comes from the best in us. That we can own it, take pride in it, and if we need to leave it, it's because it's also correct. We can take flight from it. All right, and the Eiffel Tower, you know, yes, it was really strong. That romantic inclination was very, very strong, but it was also based in reality. It was not fantasy. The Eiffel Tower, even though it represents the heights of romantic love, it is nevertheless based in reality. That was made with real material. And it was built. It was built. This was built too. And it was just as real as anything else. It was not fantasy, but it was real. But neither one of you was in a position to take it in that direction. Okay. All right, honey, I hope this helped you. This was really well done. I like this one a lot. This is really good. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.